What's going on, fight fans? It's AC Cooper from Eastwood Boxing UK. Bring you a live segment of Cooper's Corner. As always, Eastwood Boxing UK is an association with threekingsboxing.com. Shout out to the movement and everybody that's moving with it. So I've got a big panel tonight. So my panelists, guests, usual, couple of usuals and a new debut. So we'll start off with my co-host, partner in crime, Willie the Kid. How are you, man? How you feeling?
Uh, that's a tough question to answer right now, but I got a question for you.
Go.
So
we're 30 seconds into the show and you're asking me a question
wait.
already. Okay,
Yeah,
go on.
yeah. How come you're AC Cooper? Isn't the AC the C is for Cooper?
No, do you not remember? I got four middle names, brother. One of them C. I'm selective and it sounds
Oh,
good. Right, Willie. That's Willie the Kid. Everybody else. Uh, Seaboard Henderson, my man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How y'all doing today?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Pushing 11 o'clock in the UK, but I'm ready to go. Truth and facts about boxing. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. Until Chris hung up on me earlier, I feel a little slighted, but we'll take care of that later.
You feel a little slight.
I did hang up on you, bro.
I'm getting questions 30 seconds into the show, and I'm feeling a little bit slighted as well, guys. And it finally making his debut on the show. Big cool. Jarrell, how you doing, brother?
What's good? What's good, y'all? How
I'm
y'all
good,
doing?
man. I'm good. I'm looking forward to this weekend's action. Right, so the topic of conversation. When I saw this fight first announced, I straight away I put it as potential fight of the year candidate. I still think that it's going to be. It has all of the hallmarks to do so. So this weekend on HBO, so we've got Superfly 2 card, and we've got the WBC Superflyweight title fight between Rungvisai and Juan Francisco Estrada. I'm really, really excited. But for me at the moment, the fight of the year so far has been Gassiev Dorticos, but I think this is going to knock it off the top spot. In terms of breaking it down, Seabone, I'm going to start with you. Give me some of the attributes of both of the fighters and what each fighter's got to do to win this fight.
Okay, Rungvisai, I mean, he's naturally bigger. He's stronger, of course. He has a very good straight left, but he stays on his front foot about 90% of the time if you watch him. If you try to, like, clinch him or something like that, like Gonzalez did, he has a good uppercut and throws good wide hooks. And people laugh when I say good wide hooks because there is a time to throw wide hooks, and that's when you're in close. You know what I mean? If you're throwing them from a distance, I mean, you're setting yourself up to get countered to death. But he throws them when he's in close. He's actually a lot better counter puncher than what most people give him credit for, too. I watched the first Gonzalez fight back, and yeah, he's quite a bit better at counter punching than what I initially had thought. And he's just tough as hell, man. If you watch that first Gonzalez fight, Roman Gonzalez landed over 600 punches on him, and he never really had him in any real trouble. You know what I mean? And that says a lot when you really break it down. He's got a high output, not an extremely high output, but it's pretty high, you know. Whereas Estrada, to my opinion, is arguably the most underrated fighter in the sport. Okay, this is a guy with a skill set that could have been on anybody's pound for pound list now for a while. He's very versatile. He's as versatile as it gets. I mean, he literally can fight in almost any style. He can come forward. He can fight off the back foot. He's a thinker in the ring. If you watch that Kuadras fight, that's poetry in motion, man. It really was. That was pure poetry, what he did in that fight. He went from being down early, pretty lopsided, but that's a tendency that Estrada has, is to try to get a fill out. He tries to fill him out the first few rounds.
He's a slow start.
He's got good movement. Yeah, he's a slow start. He's got good movement. He's got a great jab.
I think he's got one of the best jabs in boxing.
He does. He absolutely does. And he's got a preferred combination, and he has tendencies. And I'll get into that in a minute. He's good at getting in and out and throwing 5 and 6 punch combinations. Now, people look at this fight and they think, if you look over at the Estrada Gonzalez fight, for instance, and you think, well, he's going to do to Estrada what he done to Gonzalez. No, not so fast. There's completely different fighters. Roman Gonzalez stayed in front of him most of the time, right in front of Rungvisai most of the time. Estrada's not going to do that. All right. Now, the advantages, of course, would be Rungvisai's just bigger. He's stronger. He's got more power. I also believe he has better stamina. The trick is going to be for Rungvisai to start fast because, you know, Estrada, he always has a tendency to start slow. here's something that Rungvisai is going to need to do early. He's going to need to mix his combinations up early. He don't normally do that. Normally, it's like middle rounds before he really gets going with his combinations. But he's going to need to mix them up early. He's going to have to work the body a little more normal than what he does. Now, I say that, and he's a decent body puncher. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying he needs to slow down that movement. You see what I'm saying? All right.
Yep.
Constant pressure is a must. I can't stress this enough. Constant pressure is a must in this fight for him. Okay? For Estrada, his is going to be kind of what we told George Groves last week. You're going to have to use that jab and move, jab and move, jab and move. Estrada's got a favorite combination. It's a 1-2 with a left hook to the body. Yeah. And he loves that fucking combination. That's what I was talking about, tendencies. Now, here is where that I start to swing this fight a little bit toward Rungvisai, and that's because he does have habits. Estrada has habits. Now, I don't know Rungvisai's trainer well enough to wipe it, however the hell you say the name. Anyway, it starts with P. But and it's got 22 letters and an N on it. It starts with a P, 22 letters in between with an N on the end.
PC, guys.
You know, and Estrada's going to have to jab and move. He's not going to be able to fall in love with that combination because if he does, he's not moving Rungvisai. You know what I mean? Rungvisai's going to be there, and as he comes in, he's going to get caught. He's going to end up getting caught. And that's if he tries to fall, if he falls in love with that combination, he likes so too much. He's going to need to try to force Rungvisai to reset as much as possible.
Yep.
And there's a couple of different ways he can do that. All right, he can do that by jab to the body, which 2K loves, and I love them too, man. It's very difficult to learn because you leave yourself open. I mean, it is a difficult punch to learn, but he can do it with a jab to the body, which you don't see him do a lot, but it would work. You can cause him to reset. You can also cause him to reset by fluctuating the angle. You know what I mean?
Angles.
As a fighter, you'll see it a lot of times. A fighter will be coming forward looking, and as that fighter changes the angle, and what I mean by fluctuating is you're feinting an angle instead of a punch. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You're feinting an angle instead of a punch. And as that fighter comes forward, he has to stop, and you'll see their body shake, like twist a minute. You ever seen that in a fighter?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
What he's doing is he's resetting right there, and that's what he's going to have to force Rungvisai to do, because if he allows him to plant, and I don't mean plant like we were talking about for Eubanks last week, where he's got to be planting for a long period of time. I'm talking about just allows him to plant for just a second. Rungvisai is going to be vicious, man. He's a lot bigger than Estrada, a lot stronger, you know. But now, before I get my prediction, Estrada could easily win this fight, but he's going to have to really increase his output to win this fight. All right. My prediction is Rungvisai wins a close decision.
It's interesting. Okay.
Because simply due to the head start that he gives Rungvisai and the output, steals enough rounds.
No, it's an interesting point. I mean, one of the things that I like about the work that I've seen Estrada doing in a lot of his fights is that depending where, it doesn't matter whether it's body or head, he tends to throw openings that he sees and feels, not ones that he expects to be there. And that jab, as I said earlier, that jab for me is one of the best jabs in boxing. And he uses that. It's almost like a data collection tool. He uses it to create openings, he uses it to blind, he uses it to distract, and then he brings that right hand in. That's that. He's not a massive puncher. I mean, I think it's about 68% KO ratio. So it's nothing to be sniffed at.
25 out of 38.
Yeah, you know, it's a pretty big, and his timing as well is something else I love. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking about the other guys' talk. Will of the Kid, man, give me something. What do you think?
Well, he's going to have to use his angles definitely, because I believe I don't always say size could play a difference, but size could play a difference in this fight, man, because that boy could punch. So he can't stand in front of him for too long. He's going to have to use his angles. And if he does that, and he could do it consistently for 12 rounds, which is the question here, can he? It could be an interesting fight. I tend to agree with Chris as far as, like, he starts off so slow, man, that Rungvisai is going to have to really come out the gate throwing bombs and making it his type of fight. As to can't get into a boxing match with a better boxer, that's for sure. And we all know that Estrada is the better boxer.
So are we doing what we did last week?
Make it ugly.
Really, we're doing what we
Yeah,
did
he's gonna
last
have to
week.
try to make it
We all
ugly.
did the same thing, right? We pick Eubanks, and we generally, 9 times out of 10, you're going to pick the better boxer to win. But so far, we've got two of you guys saying that it's going to be Rungvisai. But it's always interesting
I'm
when this shit
not.
happens.
I mean, this isn't
I
a
mean,
pick that I'm 100%
Styles,
comfortable in, but
yeah,
I'm pretty.
Styles
Styles
make
make
fights.
fights, man. There's a difference.
Yeah,
We're not talking about one guy not having no skill like we was last week. You know what I mean?
Well, we didn't know that though, did we? In all fairness, we didn't know that until we got found out. But no, I take your point. I take your point. Right, I'm going to ask another question. So, truth and facts about boxing. Jarrell, big cool. Time in a sec. So, okay, I take the breakdown from both Willie and from Seabank, and that's fair enough. Now, one question that I saw in a group during the week is, given the fact that Gonzalez had come up and he wasn't a particularly strong puncher and probably too small, in my personal opinion, for super flyweight. So, are we judging Rungvisai on those performances from a guy that was potentially too small, and are we potentially not necessarily hyping him up, but are we? It was a big deal because he beat the pound for pound best boxer in the world, but Estrada isn't Gonzalez. He's more natural at the weight. What do we think about that?
I don't think we hyping him up. He's just one of those guys whose style give you hell. You know what I'm saying? He's a
yeah.
tough guy, has a good chin, good power. Good variety on offense, and he's just gonna be in your face. So if you're not accustomed to dealing with that and don't have the skills to offset that, it's gonna be a tough fight. Like C-Bone said, or Willie, Gonzalez stayed right in front of him, didn't give him angles. Jab wasn't working where he could keep him at a comfortable distance for himself so he can get off his offense. So he succumbed to the pressure, you know what I'm saying? And we see what happened in the rematch. I think Estrada can, he's capable of boxing off the back foot, using that jab, countering over the straight left with the right hand. He like to throw as well as his left hook, you know what I'm saying? I think he's going to have to be fast, like Willie said, out the gate. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have to kind of take the fight to I want to fuck up his name. How you pronounce his name, man?
Rungvisai.
Yeah, Rungvisai early, to get the respect, sit down on those shots. He's gonna have to fight a versatile fight, fighting on the inside, boxing, countering, and doing what he has to do. Because, like C-Bone said, he's one of the underrated fighters in the sport today. So, if he fights a disciplined fight, uses everything he needs to do, I think he can win a decision.
He just got to do it for 12 rounds.
Exactly.
That's the key, and I don't have a track record showing me he does that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, he'll have fighters that seem that way.
Yeah.
He is, and that's what I don't have a track record to look back on. I believe that Rungvisai is not a guy that's going to fade toward the end. We've seen that against Gonzalez. He's not going to fade. I believe that he steals enough rounds late.
Would it be far-fetched for me to say that Estrada gives you 8 good rounds in a 12-round fight?
Nope.
No, not really.
So. That's what kind of fucked him up against Gonzalez to a point. I say this for Estrada: if he can win the 2 out of the first 4 rounds, that sets him up for a big,
big second half, right? Yeah.
If it's 28, I mean if it's 38 after 4 rounds, be cool. Yeah. Estrada wins this fight.
Yeah, I agree because he gets stronger as the fight goes on. But like y'all said,
barring he gets caught. You know what I mean? Barring he gets caught with a punch.
Yeah, he's got to use his angles, man. I can't stress this enough. He has to use his angles. And like you said,
he can't start as slowly as he did against Quadras against someone like Rungvisai. He just can't do that.
Right, and like Big Cool and Chris said, he's gonna have to. I know he likes his 1-2 and the hook to the body, but he's gonna have to have a variety of that. And he's gonna have to switch it up because this guy's gonna counter over that at one point or another in the fight.
Yes. Yeah.
I think so. Truth and facts about boxing been pretty damn quiet this evening. That's not like him. What do you think? Are we going to see a knockout? And given the fact that Estrada's he's lost twice, but he's never been knocked out. But a lot's being made about Rungvisai's power, and the fact that perhaps that there might be a fade down the stretch. Are we going to see a knockout in this fight?
No, I don't think you're going to see a knockout. But what you are going to see is 12 rounds of complete action. See, what you have going on here is the reason why we like watching the lower weights and we love boxing, because Rungvisai could be it could be a situation Rungvisai where he happened to run up against the right opponent at the right time in Roman Gonzalez. Like we said, he was smaller. He was heavily distracted. He had disputes over money. A trainer died, and then Rungvisai won, and then Rungvisai knocked him out the second time around. So this could be like we say, hey, he was just good for Chocolatito, who don't give you the issues that Estrada gives you. Or we could be looking at a Rungvisai that grew into the championship belt. Now he's a champion and he's fighting with a chip on his shoulder, like you would if you become a champion. And then you have Estrada, who's young, who's still young, who's still hungry, who feels like, hey, I actually probably would have beat or should have won against Roman Gonzalez. He's coming off a run against Quadras. And like we just said, Estrada gives you everything that you need to win the fight. And he's going to have to use all of that because what I love about this fight, you got two guys that are mentally fucking tough. So no guy's going to break right here. And I agree with Big Cool. If Estrada can win 2 out of the first 4 rounds, if he can even win 2 out of the first 4 or 2 out of the first 6 rounds, he can definitely win this fight because he gets stronger as the fight goes on. But I do want to add this, though. I think that the one thing Rungvisai is going to be dealing with in Estrada, he have to deal with Roman Gonzalez is this is a guy that can hit back and hit back hard. So that could put something on his mind. This is also a guy that give you movement and variation that can make Rungvisai hesitant to let his hands go.
Yep.
So that's something Rungvisai is going to have to deal with. Now, me personally, I'm picking Estrada to win this fight. I'm picking Estrada to win this fight. But make no mistake about it, man. This is probably the only reason why I'll be watching HBO is because of this fight right here. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't give fuck all shit about what's going on HBO. That's how good of a fight this really is. It's a fight that's worthy of this type of platform and that type of attention. But this is such a hard fight because you can see, like, we might actually see something in Rungvisai that, we might think, like he just pointed out, Rungvisai, he's a very good counter. You might see this dude raise his game up because the level of competition has increased, which he did with Roman Gonzalez. So that's what makes this fight very intriguing to me. But I like Estrada in this fight. Probably, and I'm gonna say split decision.
I also think real quick. Hold on. I also think, like Chris was saying, if you're making him faint with angles, if he can get runs to overextend and be out of position, that's where the countering ability of Estrada coming over the top with a right hand or a left hook can also pay dividends and maybe stun.
Exactly.
It may be stun him. You know what I'm saying? So I can see this personally. I can see either being a fight of the year or I can see Estrada dominate. You know what I'm saying?
I can't see Estrada dominating this fight.
No, I can't see it.
I
can't see it either. You know what?
Yeah, I can't see him dominating this fight.
Somebody hit it head on. The biggest thing that Estrada's going to have to worry about is Rungvisai throws probably one of the best, quickest looping, not looping, but one of the best, quickest wide right hooks that I've ever seen.
It is awesome, man.
It is so awesome. Fast. You think he threw a straight punch? He throws it so fast. That's what Estrada's going to have to watch out for.
That's because he does it on the inside.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If he's not in a position or a close enough range to land any of those effective shots, that's why I say dominant. Oh, maybe not dominant, but a clear decision for Estrada. You know what I'm saying? You can't hit what you can't reach or can't see.
I understand perfectly what you're saying.
Yeah.
And
I understand. Yes.
Yeah.
Basically, folks, what we're saying is that if you miss this fight, you don't want to miss this fight.
If you miss this fight, you are not a boxing fan. That's the bottom line.
It's very, very, very possibly could be the fight of the year. You're not.
As I said at the start of the podcast, guys. This when I first saw this fight announced, wow. I mean, I'm a big Estrada fan anyway. I mean, I'm not. I don't. Yeah. It's just watch it. Just fucking watch it. So we've got a prediction.
I am too. I'm a huge Estrada fan.
But unfortunately, it doesn't look like correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody that's listening in, I don't think that British TV's picked it up, which is odd because
not yet. I think Box Nation's going to pick it up.
Box Nation probably picks it up.
I hope so, because otherwise I'm going to be scouring for a stream at 4:00 in the fucking morning.
What happens a lot of times in these cases
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
My guys don't scatter for streams, all right?
I got you, man.
But
go over to Eastwood Boxing.
A lot of times in this situation right here, they'll wait till right at the very end and they'll call 360 Promotions, which is Tom Loeffler's new promotion company, and say, hey, we'll give you this for it. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And for the rights, for the UK rights and stuff like that. There's Box Nation and Sky Sports both have taken some heat for not picking this fight up.
Yeah, no, it's
No,
it's. I'm panicking right now, absolutely panicking. But like I said, Eastwood Boxing, Willie the Kid's always got a stream for everybody. So I think C is pretty much the only one that's given me a really clear indication as to who he thinks is going to win. He said Rungvisai by close. Really quick, big cool wins this fight.
I think Estrada wins a unanimous decision, close unanimous decision, but clear.
Willie?
Impressive unanimous
Yeah, that's
decision.
possible. That's very possible.
You wonder why I never give you a pick? It's because I got to cover these fights. So if I give you a pick when I cover these fights, then I'm covering
You're
them
right.
from my pick, my point
You're
of view,
absolutely right.
and I can't do that.
You're absolutely
This
correct.
prediction is a great fight. That's what it is. A great fight.
I gotta have.
Yeah.
I gotta have an integrity as a journalist. That I don't. That's why you don't see me do pick 'em in any leagues. I get tagged by a guy like every week, like, oh, pick a guy, and I don't think to this day he still realizes that I'll never join in that shit.
Okay, well, truth and facts. Come on, man, give me a prediction. Who's gonna win?
Well, I'm gonna predict for Willie. Willie's picking the guy who has his hand raised at the end of the fight. But
Word up.
yeah, right. I got Estrada, man. I got Estrada by split decision. I think
That's very possible. Yeah.
I was gonna say I got Estrada by split decision because I think the first half of the fight, if Estrada tries to come on and come out early, you could have a couple rounds in the first half of the fight that could go either way.
Right. He
See what I'm
needs it to
saying?
be
Like,
even going into
yeah,
the
he
round.
does. He does. He needs it to be even. But with the type of fighter Rungvisai is, that is so hard to freaking do, man.
Yeah. Let me say this. If Estrada, I'm going to put a number on this. If Estrada throws 700 punches, he wins this fight.
I agree. I agree 100%.
I
If he throws 700 or more punches, he wins this fight. If he don't,
sometimes he stands there too long.
Exactly.
He can't admire his work. He can't take a picture of his work. He got to get in, get out.
Yeah, because he's not stopping Rungvisai. He's not going to keep coming. He's going to keep coming.
I'll be honest with you. I don't believe he even staggers Rungvisai. I think he'll sting him just to put something on his mind, but I don't think he staggers him.
That motherfucker eats rats for dinner, fellas. Like, there ain't no thing gonna hurt this nigga, man. Like, I'm telling you.
Well, I mean, if you look at even if you go to Roman Gonzalez fight, Roman Gonzalez was landing some bombs on this dude. He just
nailing his ass, man.
Yeah, he kept coming. And I love fights like this when you got two strong-willed dudes. Man, please. That's like, you know what I'm saying? That's like me and Willie, but that'll never happen though.
Easy work, fellas.
Because Willie is ducking me. He ducking me, son. He ducking me, son. I got two Mandos.
First of all, son.
Willie Thurman.
Yo. This is all getting a little bit. Let's bring it back. We're on my show now. We only talk about one topic,
give a
not
fuck.
6.
You ain't gonna have somebody talk about I'm ducking them. Fuck that. Hold up.
Good stuff. Right, basically.
All I wanted to say was you're not even in my age bracket, son.
That's true. That's very true. Nobody knows shit.
We all love each other, really. We're one big fucking unhappy family. Seriously, so there we go. Watch the shit. Watch the fight. It's going to be fucking awesome. I want to thank all my panelists today. You guys that are listening, you're not going to get a better breakdown than the 4, 5, 6 guys that regularly do their own channels. I'm going to let them tell you whether you can find them in a minute. Thank you very much for listening. I'm going to start with Jarrell. Jarrell, big cool. Tell everyone where they can find you, man.
Hey, you can find me at Colossal Boxing Talk CBT on YouTube, Colossal CBT on Twitter, Colossal Boxing Talk Facebook page on Facebook, Eastwick Boxing Talk, Eastwick Boxing Talk UK. I'm gonna join make an appearance on C-Ball Show. I'm on Bowls, 2Ks, everywhere, man. Just check us all out.
Good stuff. Truth and facts about boxing. It was pretty much self-explanatory. Where can they find you, brother?
You can find me at the old folks' home in aisle 12, looking at grandma in that pink tutu. But hey man, at my age, dog, that's a good sight. But you can catch me in Truth and Facts About Boxing anywhere any of these guys are, because it's all about the movement. That's what I'm all about. You can also follow me at Instagram at capital. Hold on, my bad. You can also find me at Instagram at capital T for Truth _ capital F for Fact Box 1.
If you don't get your fake ass, very white ass out of here.
That's it, y'all. I'm done.
Good stuff. See Bone Henderson.
All right, guys, y'all know where to find me. I'm Boxing's Boomhauer. You can find me at Boxing Boomhauer on Instagram or Twitter, either one. You'll always find me at threekingsboxing.com. I'm editor-in-chief there. If you want to submit an article, try to be a writer, you want to do something. We're looking for correspondents in Las Vegas and Los Angeles right now as well, and possibly even Miami. It all depends. So give us you can email your articles to writing@threekingsboxing.com. If you're interested, if you're from LA, Las Vegas, or Miami, email us at opportunities@threekingsboxing.com. Let's you can also catch me at Willie tonight at 9:05 Eastern. That's we're gonna have WBC heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder's manager JD's on tonight for a little bit. I got a couple questions for him. If anybody wants to call in, that's 215-383-5777. We'll be live at 9:05 Eastern on the Four Corners Boxing Talk Radio Show.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Willie the Kid, my co-host. Where can I find you, brother?
Well, you can find me on Eastwick Boxing Talk. You can definitely find me tonight on Four Corners Boxing Talk, and Block Talk Radio with my man Steve Henderson. I'm also working on concept that I just thought of like a few days ago. So I'll probably look out for Eastwick Sports. It's gonna be a channel just about all kinds of sports. Also look for Eastwick MMA and Boxing Talk. My man Samuel and Shad are gonna start that soon. Anywhere where these guys need me, the movement, Eastwick Boxing page on Facebook, threekingsboxing.com, and the Facebook page we have for Three Kings, and the Facebook, the Instagram and Twitter. So Eastwick Boxing on Twitter too, by the way. So there you go.
Good stuff. And I'm your host, MC Cooper. Obviously, you can find me at Eastwick Boxing UK on Twitter, on Facebook, and obviously on YouTube. I'm a writer for Three Kings Boxing as well, so look out for Cooper's Corner, any of the other things that I decide to write. And if you hadn't already have guessed, like you've got Seabone and Willie talking to Deontay Wilder's managers tonight. I was at the Chris Eubank Jr. press conference weigh-in last week. We've got Regis Progress interviews. We've got Andre Durrell interviews. If you hadn't clued up, right, with the movement, we're coming. Make sure you follow us. That's it. Good night.